Over the years, there is a phenomenon that has intrigued ranchers, security forces, and even intelligence services all around the world. It is cattle slaughtering, a series of horrifying events that no one has been able to explain, no matter how much effort they have put into the task. The phenomenon has been presented all over the globe, and no matter the culture or society where this strange event occurs, no one can find an answer. However, in this opportunity, we'll try to delve into the facts in an attempt to decipher what is killing livestock around the world. Our first stop to unravel these strange mysteries is in the United States, and takes us back to the 1970s when a strange case caught the attention of the FBI, the media, and the UFO research community at the time. The reports included a series of animal murders that mainly involved cattle. At first, many didn't think much of it. After all, every now and then there was the occasional wild animal that would wander around the region and wreak havoc on the livestock. But they soon discovered that the murders were carried out with sadistic and meticulous cruelty. In most cases, the cattle had their organs and several liters of blood removed. As for their limbs, they were completely broken, as if the animals had been dropped from a 5-story height. As if this wasn't enough, the victims had no eyes, no tongue or sexual organs, and had burns in the areas where the meat had been mutilated with a sharp object. Since the emergence of these allegations, there has been a real media uproar. The U.S. local press started to gather reports from ranch owners and independent stock breeders in areas farther away from the cities. Each of them had a more terrifying story than the last, and all of this turned into a big scandal in a few weeks. As is always the case when there is an unexplained event, the FBI made its appearance in a very discreet manner, and its involvement in the investigation was not known until much later. However, despite their involvement, the enigma survived. New reports were coming in every month, even though security in the affected areas had tripled. How could this be explained? To many, it was simply an unprecedented phenomenon. To others, a very typical alien act. In the United States, UFO sightings have never been rare, nor have reports of strange livestock disappearances after cameras detected strange lights coming from the sky. This is why a lot of people are convinced that extraterrestrials are the actual individuals behind these events, and that they aren't just an act of local vandalism. Is this the real explanation? In Argentina, it is still not clear. The South American country is known for having one of the largest cattle herds in the world, and the meat they export is especially recognized internationally. For them, this is a major source of income. So when there are mass killings of cattle, it becomes a very serious matter. However, although they have tried to use all kinds of precautions and resources to avoid these mysterious phenomena, they have not obtained better results than the rest of the countries. One of the most recent cases occurred in Hassan Camp, when a breeder found a 400-kilogram heifer dismembered. It was missing its udders, genitals, part of its jaw, tongue, and eyes. Its limbs had the same pattern as in the United States. They were fractured, and there were burns all over the body. In another department of the country, a group of ranchers found dead and mutilated goats with missing tongues, eyes, ears, and jaws. In addition, the teeth had been pulled out and the meat had been left to rot. This is very important because many people still claim that it is simply a local crime. But they ignore that the perpetrators are not making any profit from it. Furthermore, it isn't a matter of necessity or misery since no one takes the meat. Some suspect that they are vandals who use the animal's remains for strange witchcraft or satanic rites. But it is striking that these acts are repeated in all continents of the world. However, in Argentina, they haven't ruled out that aliens are behind all these mysterious occurrences, especially since UFO activity here has been increasing in the countryside during the last decade. Many people have claimed that they came across strange spacecraft with blinding lights that have, allegedly, been attracted by the large concentration of cattle in the region. Some still remember the strange story that occurred in Scotland in the parish of Rarick, where a man named Andrew Mackey lived with his wife and cattle. He had a quiet country life, never messed with anyone, and his routines were extremely pleasant until one day it all became very strange. One night in February, Andrew stumbled upon something that had not happened to him for many, many years. The tethers that kept his cattle in the corral had come undone, but not because of aggression or cuts. It was as if someone had removed the knot. That surprised him. He had been tying those knots for more than a decade, but he was undeterred. He took the cattle to another area of his property and made a much stronger tie. Then he went to sleep, but in the middle of the night, a strange noise alerted him. He ran out to the corral, but what he saw was something he never expected to see in his life. Strange lights from the sky kept his cattle above the ground. He couldn't reach the cows, nor could he do anything but scream. The thunderous noise seemed to have an effect because the cows rushed to the ground and the lights disappeared. How was that possible? UFO scholars have not yet been able to explain why extraterrestrials might be so interested in the cows and bulls of Earth. But there has been a strong trend over time around the abduction of these animals. What's so special about them? It's a real mystery. But from Argentina to India, from China to Russia to the United States, every country has reported dozens of such cases. And many are still wondering what can be done against an enemy that no one can see or catch. Unfortunately, it does not appear that we will have any answers to this mystery. The world will continue to deal with strange creatures attacking livestock with no explanation. But this is not the first time something like this has happened. You don't believe me? Then subscribe to know the 5 drones that captured something that shouldn't exist. Or to discover a terrifying creature that has been hidden for years. Check out the videos.